Good morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America, and hello to anyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. Last week, I showed you a couple of techniques for using Stampin' Up's soft pastels assortment, and today I'm going to show you a few more techniques. Here are the colors. I do a technical adjustment over here. There we go. Yeah, so these are the colors. They call this Night of Navy, Granny Apple Green, Coastal Cabana, Mossy Meadow, Gorgeous Grape, Poppy Parade, Mango Melody, and Daffodil Delight. And as I showed you last week, I am going to start by scraping some of the color off of each stick. And my favorite way to do that, you can use a craft knife or on our take your pick tool. One end has this spatula, and it's super easy to just scrape some of that color. You can put it onto a piece of scrap paper. I like using this silicone mat, silicone craft sheet. It's easy, and it's very easy to just rinse off when I'm finished, and is impermeable. So if I'm using water with that, it doesn't leak onto something else, so that's nice. These craft sheets, I use them for a lot of different things. Who's here? Oh, hello Gladys and Roseanne and Paula. Thanks for joining me today. Gladys, I hope you had a nice birthday. We talked about that, I think, a little bit. Gorgeous Grape. So they've got a coating on the outside of each stick, and then once you get past that, it's very easy to scrape off a lot of color. And some of the Daffodil Delight, and we'll get going here. Okay. So, put those out of the way, cover that up. So one of the things I tried after we went off the air last week, was to use up the remaining chalk on my mat. I took one of my brushes and I swirled it onto this embossed piece of cardstock, and I focused on some of the lighter colors, and then, well, I'll show you the technique. I'm not 100% thrilled with how this came out. It came out kind of grungy looking, so I'm going to try to get it a bit more vibrant. And so I've done a couple of different sheets. Just reading glasses update here. You guys have exactly the same birthday? That's wild. That is wild. My kids are 9 days, 3 years and less 9 days. And that was always interesting while they were growing up, but we made it work. So I did this one again, hoping to get a slightly different result. That's the Pretty Flowers embossing folder. And I did this one, the Bloom Hybrid. And again, it's a bit different. And I'll show you, it's, instead of just sort of swirling big and doing big blobs of color, I'm going to try to be a little more targeted, at least on this one, and see how it works out. So yeah, before I just sort of did random big blobs, and now I'm going to try to target kind of specific stuff. So the big flowers I'm doing in Poppy Parade. And again, I'm using this really small version of the blending brush. I wish Stampin' Up! Had all kinds of different sizes for us, but they don't. They just have the one. I'll show you the Stampin' Up! Ones. They come in a pack of 3 this size, which is a useful size. I mean, that could do something. I'll just but it's kind of nice to be able to get a little more finely tuned in here with this. And sponge dauber is another way to do this. That'll give you a little more concentrated application. And I don't need it to be perfect. If I wanted it perfect, I would use a more precise coloring medium. But I am trying to make it a little more targeted than my first one was. There's one more of these big flowers over here. Your best birthday gift. I love that. Okay, I'm gonna clean this off on my microfiber cloth. This is a dry cloth. I don't really want to add in water from my chamois. So I'm doing that. I'm going to pull in some of the gorgeous grape here on these smaller flowers, I think. There they are. A big one or a small one? These are small ones. So Gladys, do you feel the same way? Was she your best birthday gift? And I suppose that may have changed over the years too. Your feelings on it. My son's the elder, and I don't believe he feels the same way about his sister. That she was, but they're fine now that they live an ocean and more apart. She adores him. Get some more Poppy Parade here on this big flower I missed. There we go. got all kinds of things to show you. Couple more things to show you. Some more of the green. This round one really is kind of the best one. Although it is holding on to more of the grape than I would want. We'll see what we can do here. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. There's more. It should be green. So that's just the straightforward. We've put the pastel color on. Get rid of some of that. I'm going to set that aside for a minute. I'm going to bring in this one and see how clean we can get that. I'm going to take some of this mossy meadow and apply it to the leaves here. We'll see how we go. You can see I had a lot of powder there and not very much there. Get some more going here. Okay, and you may remember we did do some erasing. Just going to do a little bit here on the embossed flowers. Let's see if I can get a little bit of that green off of there. It's not the end of the world. It's a little better. I think I'm going to yellow on there. Yeah. I'm going to go with the Daffodil Delight as opposed to the Mango Melody that I started with. They kind of blend together nicely, but yes, you can blend the pastels, and depending what colors you blend together, it will get muddy. But yeah, I haven't done a lot of playing, like if I blend together the yellow and the blue, does it make green? In part because I have two shades of green. Now, it probably comes as no big surprise. I'm not 100% sure where I'm going with these. But there is another part that you can add to this technique that I will show you in a minute. Once I put back some of the color I erased off. Yeah, and I think, see what happens if we try adding some of this into the, this is the Granny Apple Green I'm trying to add into the background here. So it's not white, but it's not that dark, dark green. So this is definitely something you just need to play with and see what you like, see what you come up with. Okay. So you can bring in your paper towel and wipe off excess chalk. And I'm going to do that on this one too. And then try it on this one first. So I think I showed you last week I have two Versamark pads. This one is in pretty good nick. This one's a little bit grungy. So I'm just going to bring this in and very lightly tap or drag it. And I'm really trying to get just the top of that embossing. And we'll see how we did here in a moment. And yeah, now we're going to bring in a top layer of embossing powder. And that's what I did on this one. And what I did was I used all the colors except Mossy Meadow, and then I used Mossy Meadow to swipe over the top, and that's what I think gave it that sort of dark and gloomy feel. So I'm going to try with the yellows here. I'm going to start in the middle, and that should heighten the color. Yeah, so remember the Versamark is sticky. So every place I got the Versamark, it should be holding on to more of that color. And you can see it didn't go evenly on all of the petals, but that's because they're not all raised evenly, but I'm happier with that. And then I think I'm going to try the same thing with the Granny Apple Green and maybe some yellow on the leaves. See if that gets a little bit of lighter highlighting on there. Yeah. So I'm not sure if you would call this blending or layering of color, Roseanne, but that definitely lightened up those leaves. So I think we can go in and add a bit more Versamark if we want. Oh yeah. Okay. Now we'll try not to get it muddy. Okay, stopping there. I think this is a job for the... Oh yeah. That's awesome. So there's that one. Only started to get a little muddy. This one, that one I don't think I want to go over. So yeah, I think you'll need to check in on my blog to see how I finish those off, because I'm going to think about that a little bit more. It'll be something similar to this, but I'm going to think on that a little bit more. But because I want to show you, oh, I know, I have one more way I wanted to try to do this. Yeah, but I wanted to do it where I color first and then emboss. And then I'm going to move on to one more that's totally different. And more of the, they say is Night of Navy. Okay, and this one I am going to use my bigger brush. I think we did some of this type of thing last week. Purple, 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 and blue, and it's fine that they swirl together. Makes it better. Oh, not that much. Okay. All right. So, having done that, background color everywhere, I'm going to bring in, this is my lace 3D embossing folder, and I'm going to run off camera and run that through my cut and emboss machine and be right back. Nope, it's gonna be good. Thought maybe I had, yeah, I kind of debossed it instead of embossed it, but no, this is good. I like that. I'm trying to see how much you can see. Oh yeah, you can see it on there. Yeah, so that's another one, and this one, again, I don't think I really want to mess with the Versamark and putting something over top, but it might get a spritz of shimmer. What do I have at hand? Hold on one second. yeah, I'm not going to spend time doing that now. We will play with that in a little while. But yeah, I like how that turned out. So I will finish those off camera and show you the results on my blog later on. And now use this guy. Love that. Okay, so now I'm going to do a bit of, see how messy my mat is there? We'll get that cleared off later. I'm going to bring in another piece of cardstock because I'm going to do a little bit of more direct coloring. And these microfiber cloths, I just dump them in the wash when I'm doing like my dish towels. They all clean up just fine. Okay, so I am going to make a background for landscape, and I'm not an artist, so I'm going to start with sort of my horizon line. And I'm going to put some, this is sort of my go-to when I'm doing landscape background stuff. So I'm going to just blend that. I'm just going straight across here. I like the texture lines that I'm getting. And I'll do a little more. Add in a little bit of mossy meadow, a little more. See how much I like that. Oh yeah, just a little bit. Again, a little texture. Okay, I'm going to stop there because I do think if you go too far, you're more likely to get muddiness. Clean that up just a little bit. It's not really going to matter much. And then, what am I doing? This is the Daffodil Delight, really. Do a really small amount of Poppy Parade right above my horizon there. And bring in the Mango Melody. This is what I should have been doing. And now let's get into some of this. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. I know it looks like a rainbow. It's not really supposed to look like a rainbow per se. Okay, I'm gonna call that good. It's kind of rough, but it's okay. It's impressionistic. I don't know. I gotta get this stuff off my hands. Chalky, chalky, chalky. Okay, so I'm going to bring that back in, and I went ahead and I pre-cut from the Meadows dies. You've seen me use these before, and I did break down and buy the similar but different set. I can now show you the inside of the catalog. Woohoo! Here 56. I bought this set as well. These dies and stamps together, and I think they're going to work to mix and match, but regardless, I like them, and I like the paper in this suite too, and you know I already like the cork, so yeah, I went ahead and ordered those yesterday, I think. Oh, so this is from the Quiet Meadow bundle. The Meadow, I didn't use any of the stamps yet, but I might when it comes time for a sentiment. But I cut a variety of these dies in greens, thinking that they would be fun to kind of silhouette against that background. As the sun might be kind of trying to set, was the thinking. I don't know if I got it right or not. I know black is usually what it is, but it's not. Didn't want it quite so dark. So I'm not sure. But I think we'll do a little more variation in height. Come here, come here. It's very possible that less is more. Still thinking less is more. You guys have all gone very quiet, which is fine. Okay, I think we're going to layer as we go and see what we wind up with. Now, I could have put adhesive sheets behind these before I cut them, but I think they're going to stick pretty well with the dots of glue. And sometimes I can't tell whether, well, I was wondering if maybe on the dry chalk it wouldn't work better to have the glue. So that's what I went with. I think I want to strengthen that horizon line. So I keep waking up to a very grumpy husband because we've been having hot water issues in our building. We had a night where we had, and a morning where we had basically no hot water at all. And then they supposedly fixed it. And then it was sort of iffy. And I said, oh, well, that was just a temporary fix. They're coming in to do the full fix. And we were told the full fix was done. But ever since then, Glenn's been claiming that there's not enough hot water and the pressure's down and blah, blah, blah. Well, the building manager's been taking temperatures. I took temperature the other morning, and it wasn't great, but it wasn't awful either. Well, I got up early this morning on his timetable and checked the temp, and yeah, it was really bad. So they are supposedly fixing it, but he's cranky if he can't have his morning shower. And he's not happy about the continued work from home situation. So, you know, I'm just hanging in here. Get a little better idea of what I'm looking at. I'm thinking that's it. Yeah, I'm gonna call it good there. I think the only real question now is how to make that into a finished card. It's the wrong side. That's all. Okay. Yeah. Be right back. Not sure if that's the right background. I don't hate that. Yeah, I don't think I like the white back there. But I think I like the blue and the green. Yes, Old Olive and Misty Moonlight. Remember I said they call that Night of Navy, but it comes out a little bit more like Misty Moonlight. Yeah, and I think I like this cut down more. Okay. I think I want to cut down a lot. Oh, you thought it looked nice on the white? Come here. This piece is cut weird. Yeah, no, I'm going with the green. Okay, enough futzing around. Okay, so I'm going to finish off all of these off camera. So check back on my blog later today, tomorrow, to see the final product. But you get an idea of how to use these pastels in making some backgrounds and some pieces. Yeah, the Versamark magic on there was pretty cool. Yeah, so that's what I have for you today. If you're in Australia and you need a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to help you out. You can click on one of the links to get in touch with me. I'm also reachable by email, nancy@nancysniftynotes.com. We have a great joining special during August and September. So if you'd like to be part of my team and get a 20% discount on all of your orders at least through the end of the year or longer, depending on how long you stick with us, I'd be happy to talk more about that, or there's a link to join me. Otherwise, I will be back same time, same place next week with more projects. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.